Hi guys, what's up? Toboloco here. Welcome back to our qualifying run with China. We are in part 2 on the 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa game. This is our group for the final qualifying round. We have Iraq, Australia, Thailand and Hong Kong. Not too bad, to be honest. I like our chances. In the last round, China did alright. You know, they did okay against the big team in the group, which was Japan. You know, we did battle hard. Against the minnows, we blew them away, but you know, that's minnows, it doesn't really matter. But we'll see what happens here today. And our first game is going to be against Hong Kong away from home. And just to remind you, it is on legendary difficulty because it is the best and most fun way to play these qualifying runs. Alright then, so our first match is away from home against Hong Kong. What can China do against another minnow? It's going to be an interesting match. Hong Kong got here, you know, on the final day of qualifying in the last round, just behind Iraq. Well, not just behind, like quite a lot behind Iraq. Iraq are the most informed team at the moment. They're unbeaten, they're scoring tons and tons of goals. I'm sure that we can get China to their first World Cup since 2002. Of course, China have laid out a plan to qualify for the World Cup by 2050. This was obviously after 2010, so we're looking to, oh, there we go, what a header, and that is 1-0, and it's Kubo with a goal to make it 1-0. Nice header on the fact that he was sort of backtracking, and then he just headed it and it went into the bottom corner. Nice one. Hong Kong looking for it, and China just dispossess him. Hold on, a bit of trouble. We can't seem to clear our lines at the moment. Hong Kong go for it, it goes out for a corner. It's a good play by China. Xiao Chie. I don't know how I say that pronunciation properly, but that was really bad by Hong Kong, and that is 2-0. I don't know why they poked it towards the goalkeeper, and then the goalkeeper didn't even pick it up. But it's 2-0 thanks to Kubo. And, well, I mean, that was just terrible defending. Nobody even picked it up after the defender slipped over. And, yeah, 2-0. Very easy. Liang Chung Pong. Lam Wai Kai. Lo Kuan Yi, Chang Su Wai, lost the ball, and off the post and in, Hong Kong has scored. China just couldn't defend it, and Cheng Su Wai has scored to make it 2-1. Hong Kong have bitten back. Can they come back? China's defending there. Look at that. I mean, it was a bit unlucky, but still, I mean, for a nation like China, you should be doing better. So it's half time, and China are leading by 2-1. Quite a slender lead, to be honest. Kubo, he just needs to get past this defender, and that's 3-0. He's got his hat-trick. I knew he would. 3-1, I mean, sorry. Hat-trick for Kubo, and, well, I mean, surely now we have got this game locked down. I'm not sure if Hong Kong have got it in them to score again. Despite the difference in class between these two teams, you know, China being a 2.5-star team, Hong Kong being a half-star team, it hasn't been the most dominant of performances. Yes, we're still winning, which is good, but Hong Kong have made it difficult for us. I mean, here they just nearly scored, and you know, China seem a little bit shaky at the back, especially against these smaller teams. So are Australia going to be even harder to come up against? Remember, in the last video against Japan, we struggled against them as well. Even though I thought that, like, as well, we played quite well, we still lost against them. So, you know, we need to win the big games in order to automatically qualify. But China have won here by 3-1 over Hong Kong. Our next matchup is at home, and we are against Thailand. So let's see what we can do against Thailand. Slightly better than Hong Kong. I think Thailand are a 1-star team on this game, maybe 1.5, or maybe even a 2. I can't remember that much, but yeah. We'll see what we can do against them. China here on the ball. Trying to press. Zhao Seems like Thailand have gone like for a very defensive formation in this. You know, trying to keep my strikers Zhao and Kubo at bay. I'm sure they'll try, but Zhao and Kubo, I think they have like, what, like 8 goals each or something like that right now. So they're red hot. So far it's been a struggle for China to even do the most basic of movements like passing and even tackling at some points is difficult for them. See what I mean? The passing is just not here at the moment. Feels like the intensity is not here, but at least we're not in Australia's position. 2-0 down against Iraq. And I told you, Iraq have been really, really good in this whole qualifying run. This half has barely had anything in it. Like, it's literally just been a giant midfield battle. China cannot do anything against Thailand right now. Thailand dispossessed. 1 minute of added. Can we get a ball downfield just before half-time ends? Over the top. Zhao Lin can maybe get it. No, he can't. And, well, this first half was, I don't know, man. It just, the intensity is not here from China. Iraq are 3-1 up against Australia. I think that Iraq are going to be the hardest team in this group, I think. Just from the form. I know Australia probably will be as well because obviously, you know, they're the biggest team in the group. But Iraq are currently beating them by 3-1, making it look very easy. Go on, over the top here. And Thailand defend it again. Brilliant defending from Thailand. Not allowing a single shot from China yet. And this could be a chance. It's blocked. Hold on. Oh, it hit the side netting. Okay, well, that's an official shot. Go on. Over the top. Kubo. Come on. This could be a chance. It's rolled in for 1-0. Finally. Finally, China have woken up. And Thailand's defence is finally sort of collapsed enough that we were able to go on through and roll it under the keeper for 1-0. Still not a brilliant performance, but I will take it just on the basis that Thailand have been really good defensively. 3-2 now between Iraq and Australia. Will Iraq bottle it? We'll see in the next 5 minutes. China, oh, again, another poor shot. And it's just, well, the striking has not been here. Usually, Zhao Lin and Kubo are really clinical up top, but no, it hasn't been their day today, even though it is only 1-0. But, you know, there's two factors to that. That's China's lack of prowess in this match, and, of course, Thailand's defending. And that is going to be it. It's just a 1-0 against Thailand. Credit to Thailand, they played really well, defended really well. But China, yeah, okay, they got the job done in the end. But if I'm being super harsh, striking wasn't very good in that match. And neither was the midfield play either. Our third match is away from home against Australia. Big test coming up here for China. Can they withstand the pressure of Australia and get a win away from home? If they can do that, then they've got a real good case of qualifying automatically. Here comes China again. Crossed in. Header off the bar. And, oh, the other header went over the bar. Oh, that's a big chance for China to take the lead. Xiao Xie on the ball here. He's going to cross that in and nobody gets it. China not getting into those crucial attacking positions on the cross. It's really annoying. Maybe we're not that type of team to actually cross the ball in. Harry Kuehl crosses that one in, headed away. Kalina, and it's rolled in for 1-0. Okay, well, a defensive lapse, and Kennedy has scored for Australia to make it 1-0. We couldn't make our chances count, and then the header from the defender basically set up that move. Just passed into the box, casual as you like, and rolled in for 1-0. Some of the passing by China has been absolutely woeful at the moment. We're not showing that we can contest with the best at the moment. Defensively, we're all over the place as well. Just need to improve against sides like Australia. Kalina, Harry Kuehl, crosses that in, headed away by China. And as we go into the half-time break, we are 1-0 down. And, well, we just need to make our chances count if we're going to get back into the game. Over the top, Bresciano on the ball for Australia. Out to Emerton, he crosses that in and over the bar by Australia. Going to be a free kick to China. Can we do anything special with this? Rolled out, and here comes Sung Xiang, and he scores. Yes, he has scored, and I think that's the defender who has notched one up for China. It's the equaliser. Sun Xiang has scored in the 60th minute to make it 1-1, and China are back into it. Through a dead ball situation, you know, those free kicks, if you watch my runs over and over, you know, you'd know that I always love pulling those free kicks off because it's the easiest way to score. Wang Dong out to this dude. And over the top, Zhao Lin, he's through. Could there be a chance? Yes, just about. I don't know how that went in because I thought Schwarzer caught it. Zhao Lin has scored, and that's 2-1 to China. Obviously, he got butter in his gloves or something like that because it literally slipped out from under him as he caught it, and they almost cleared it, but it was too little too late. It just seems like we are still a little bit vulnerable to mistakes and you know, poor finishing, stuff like that, not being able to tackle our opponents cleanly, all that sort of stuff. Crossed in, headed away, and Australia are out of my box. Through ball, Kubo, 86th minute, can he do it? Oh, that's a bad foul. I mean, I guess he had to do that, but that's going to be a red card. He didn't even trip me up. Like, not really. I didn't go to ground or anything. And that's a red card. From Australia's point of view, that is not good. They've lost Lucas Neal for the next match. And we're going to lay it off again and hopefully score. Sun Xiang. Oh, he scored again. Yes, he's the master of doing that. And he finishes Australia off in style. The defender has got 2 goals in this match. Sun Xiang has made it 3-1 and earned China an amazing victory away from home. Look at that. Another one of these situations. And he almost got taken out again on that one. But manages to get the ball into the back of the net. I love those types of shots on this. You know, I'd rather be like top corner or something like that. But obviously a defender can't really, you know, put that much power into a shot. So I'll take it. 3-1. And that is going to be it. China have won away from home against Australia by 3-1. They earned that win because, you know, going 1-0 down and having the character to come back, especially when we were kind of struggling with our passing and everything like that in the previous game against Thailand, I was really worried that we wouldn't be able to get it done here against Australia. But China proved me wrong. We're almost at the halfway point of this group stage, and we've got Iraq coming here to China to see if we can beat them to extend our lead at the top of the table. We currently have a 3-point gap between us and Australia. Iraq, I'm fairly sure they drew against Hong Kong in the last match, which is not great for them because obviously they were red hot going into this group stage. And I knew Iraq would slow down, but obviously, you know, they beat Australia 3-1. Before they played Hong Kong, so maybe they're starting to slow down. If we can beat Iraq, then that would be great as well. Iraq and Australia are the teams we need to beat in this group. Here comes Iraq. They look lively already, Iraq. They don't seem like they're going to mess around in this match. You know, tipped over the bar there, crossed in, headed out, and Iraq have got it. And somehow that snuck in for 1-0. And that's Imad Mohammed with a goal to make it 1-0 to Iraq. And, well, there was like 3 defenders in front of him. And he still managed to get the ball into the back of the net. Look at this. Look, 3 of them he got past. And the goalkeeper as well. So, incredible shot. And here comes China. And it's saved. And it's 1-1. Unlucky Iraq, the goalkeeper spilt it, and that is 1-1. Well, okay, Zhao Lin has scored, and he puts us back level. Great play, saved by the Iraq goalkeeper, and he just couldn't get up in time to get the rebound shot. It's half time, still 1-1 between these two. Of course, if China can beat Iraq here, it would be massive for our lead at the top of the table. We need to occupy at least one of the 2 spaces at the top to qualify automatically. I don't really want to go through the playoffs because the other group is quite strong. Tackled by this dude. Go on. Saved. And the goalkeeper tried to rush me, but I think that's going to be a corner. The game has kind of slowed down a little bit. Not very many quality chances for both teams. It might just end as a 1-1. China looking for it. Into the box. And it's caught. Unlucky. So it's going to end as a draw, which I'm not really surprised at, to be honest, because Iraq and China have both been good in this qualifying campaign so far. Hopefully next time we can get them away from home. But at the halfway point, China are currently unbeaten. So at the halfway point, let's check out the groups for Asia qualifying. So China are top, currently unbeaten, like I said, with 10 points, 4 points clear of Australia and Iraq, and 6 points clear of Thailand. So it's looking good, and I hope we can continue our decent form. I reckon maybe 2 more wins should just about do it, I think, because obviously Australia and Iraq will have to play each other, and as long as we can steer clear of that playoff place, then I'm good. In the other group, it looks like this. South Korea are top, currently unbeaten, with 12 points, 6 points clear of Uzbekistan in second, and North Korea in third. Japan are really struggling in this campaign, with only 1 win. They currently sit at the bottom behind Qatar. So we're just past the halfway point, and we have Hong Kong again for our next match for China. We could really close out this qualifying campaign really well and qualify automatically if we keep going the way we are going. China haven't been the best, like super the best. However, they've been consistent enough to remain unbeaten, which is obviously what you want in any qualifying campaign. Su Haibin, oh my goodness, from nowhere, a shot that hits the top of the bar. Fantastic strike. Unlucky that that didn't go straight in. Zheng Xi. Crossed in. Header is not met. Struggling a little bit here against Hong Kong. They've been very resilient against China here. Of course, we have hit the bar, but that's all we've had so far. Out to you. This is a good chance. And okay. Apparently not. The goalkeeper just went, yep, no, sorry. Come on, we've got to try and score now, surely. Zhao Lin is going through. Can he make it 1-0 just before half-time? He has. And it took us that long, but it's okay. You know, Hong Kong played well in that first half up until that point. Zhao Lin has scored to make it 1-0. Over the top by Hong Kong, and they've got him behind. Is there a crossing opportunity? No, but there will be a corner. Okay, they've been quite stubborn so far, only like conceding a 1 goal, and they've been a bit problematic. Header by Hong Kong off the post. I told you, see, I told you they've caused me a lot of problems. Here comes China. Oh, what a finesse shot. Brilliant. And that's 2-0, and I think that was Zhao Lin with that finesse shot. No, it's Kubo, sorry. Kubo with the finesse shot, and it is 2-0. Very, very beautifully done. Pass to Kubo. Went a little bit diagonal with it, and look at that. That's beautiful. Even against Hong Kong, you've got to admit, that's such a nice shot. Hong Kong here, pushing forward, and decent attempt. They are still trying, despite being 2-0 down and being the weaker team. They are still trying here. Very, very good attempt. And that is going to be it. China have beaten Hong Kong by 2-0. Hong Kong did have a few chances and did make us work for that win, but China get it in the end. So we got 3 more games to play. I think 3 more points should do it. Next up, we have Thailand away from home. Thailand beat Australia 1-0 in the last game, which is a good result. So I think Thailand are very close to that 2nd place spot. So they're going to be a big threat in this match, because obviously, again, they just nearly scored there. Obviously, you know, they'll be gunning for that automatic spot with the 3 games left to play. China, after this match, have got Australia, then Iraq. So, I mean, there is potential for Thailand to potentially do it. Not with passes like that, though. It's going to be a corner to Thailand. They've caused a lot of problems here in this match so far. A couple of shots and they're getting corners out of me. Can't really see China really exploding into life in this game, to be fair. I think it's only going to be a 1-0 if we're going to win it. I think after beating Australia, Thailand have really got onto some really good form here. So we've got to be really careful with them. I kind of hope, though, that if Thailand do beat us. I hope they qualify alongside of us. But Australia are winning against Iraq right now. So that's looking pretty slim if Australia win again. The next shot. Oh my goodness, off the bar. That was a great finesse shot, but I had this time and space to do it, but the post denies us again, and China are still drawing with Thailand 0-0. It's going to be a corner to Thailand. They cross it in, and oh, back heel. Oh, I don't know how that ball ended up at that striker's feet, but okay. My defender headed it towards him. Look. What was that? And then he just does a cheeky back heel and almost puts it in. Defensively, Thailand have been very good in this match, stopping everything that I do. And even the post and the crossbar stopping us from time to time as well. And there we go. That's going to be it. I think from China's celebrations, we might have automatically qualified anyway with that point. I mean, you wouldn't celebrate a draw with Thailand like that, would you? Unless you know, of course, you've qualified for the World Cup. So with 2 games remaining, I believe that China have qualified for the World Cup, which is awesome. Really, really awesome. You know, the group, again, didn't have that many big teams in there. Obviously, we only had, like, Australia and, I guess, Iraq at the start were really, really, like, on form. But as you can see, they've started to lose a lot of games now. Here we go then. Our next match is against Australia. We're back at home for this one. And, well, we've already qualified and Australia are on the fringe of automatically qualifying as well. They are currently 3 points ahead of Thailand. If we beat Australia and Thailand win their next match, then it will be down to the final day for those two. If Australia beat us here though, then it's all over for Thailand. And I guess they'll have to settle for playoffs. I can see a move, but can we do it properly? How was that onside? And it's 1-0. Nice one. They're putting their hands up for offside, but absolutely not. And it's Xiao Xie with the goal to make it 1-0 to China. What a move. I saw him at the top of the screen. I was like, surely he's still onside, right? And you can see Schwarzer is so mad about that because Australia were left completely open and they're 1-0 down already. Over the top, and Harry Kuehl is in behind, and that's a great save. Another shot saved by our goalkeeper. That's not a great clearance. Header, and just bounced wide. Australia have missed a few chances already. China pressing. Here we go. Come on. Crossed in. Hey, there we go. It took a little while for that cross to register, but that's 2-0. And I thought Schwarzer would have caught that as it was in mid-air. You know, usually goalkeepers do when it's close to them, but I guess it had the right arc and everything, and what a finish as well. Especially like going away from the net like that. Very, very lucky, and that is 2-0 to China. So at half-time, China are leading 2-0 and look really, really good so far. Australia, they've had chances, but our goalkeeper has saved all of them. So I think it's just come down to who's been the better goalkeeper. And, well, Schwarzer isn't in that category right now. Here comes Australia, Harry Kuehl. He crosses that in, but it's tipped by the goalkeeper. And, oh, it's a bit dodgy. Come on, get rid of it. Australia still trying, but they give the ball away there. And that's just their problem. They haven't been able to finish their chances, and I was going through there. That was such a dirty tackle, and that's a red card. The AI just went, nope, wipe him out, and that is a straight red. Oh my god, Zhao Lin, he's pushed his way past. Crossed in, header, and it's gone in, yes! And that's 3-0. Zhao Lin has got over the top of that Australian defender and has made it 3-0 with 9 minutes to play. China are cruising right now and have put Australia in a really bad position if Thailand win their next 2 games. Remember, I'm fairly sure they got 2 games in hand. I think they have to play I think they have to play Iraq and Hong Kong. Despite the chances Australia had at the start of this game, they find themselves 3-0 down. China have been excellent in this match. and, well, obviously have already qualified automatically. That's a great cross. How did that go in? How on earth did that go in? It was such a random shot, and he scores to make it 4. And, well, Australia gave up. That cross into the box was absolutely perfect. It's so hard to get a perfect cross into the box because usually it goes to, like, the far post most of the time. But it actually went, like, sort of into the middle there. He chests it down, not even looking, and he puts it in. Schwartz to put his hands up, but it went through his hands, and that's 4-0. Fantastic strike by Zhao Lin. So China have smashed Australia 4-0 at their own ground at home. So that would be brilliant for the Chinese there. And we've got one more game to play. It's against Iraq. Even if we lose our last match, we are still top. Nothing can happen. Australia have already played their last game, and they are at the mercy of Thailand and Iraq. Now, Australia do have a really good goal difference. However, we have to play Iraq, and if Iraq beat us, they'll overtake Australia. If Thailand beat Hong Kong on the last day, then they could potentially get into that playoff spot if Iraq lose, or if they score lots of goals, leapfrog Australia. It's a very, very tense situation for those 3 teams. And of course, whatever happens, happens. It's a great situation because, you know, Australia are at the mercy of Iraq and Thailand. The only thing that could happen that could save Australia is that we beat Iraq and Thailand draw against Hong Kong. Here we go then, final match, and it's against Iraq away from home. Iraq really need to beat us to have a chance to qualify automatically. Of course, I'm not going to let them just do that easily. Thailand have scored against Hong Kong. It's 1-0. I don't know how many goals they actually need, though, because Australia's goal difference looked better than Thailand's. Oh, Iraq, they've got through. Yunus Mahmood, he's put it in for 1-0. And Iraq are 1-0 up. So as it stands, I think Iraq are in second place right now. Australia will be in third. And Thailand will still be fourth. But it will be like pretty much identical points. Yunus Mahmood into the middle. Iraq just trying to waste time here, I think. It's half-time, and it is 1-0 to Iraq. As it stands, Iraq will pinch that second place spot away from Australia. Iraq have been very good defensively as well, not letting China have many chances on goal. And, well, it just feels like they've wanted it from the start, to be honest. Crossed in. The cross was not a good one there from China. To you. And it's blocked. To you again. And that's a penalty. It's a penalty to China. And what a silly penalty to give away for Iraq. They just bumped into me. Well, since we've already qualified, you know what's going to happen, right? We're going to have to do the prophecy. Wang Dong needs to get a goal. Usually it's the goalkeeper, but because he has a funny name, he has to score. Wang Dong. Oh, the prophecy cannot be fulfilled. Wang Dong missed, and what a save by the Iraq keeper. And it hit the post and, like, rolled out. Of course it does. I probably would have been better off taking it with the goalkeeper. I mean, China did have a big chance, to be fair, the penalty, but Wang Dong bottled it. And, well, Iraq will be taking this one, and they will be going through automatically to the World Cup. They've wasted enough time as it is. Here come Iraq. They found a spot, and it's a goal. It's 2-0. Oh, China's defence not very good on that one, but congratulations to Iraq. They have qualified for the World Cup automatically alongside with us, and it was just a great performance. Look at his passing. They just exploited so many holes in our defence and just tapped it in at the end. Fitting finish to a great campaign for Iraq. China also qualify as well. And, well, I mean, Australia go to the playoffs then. Since Thailand couldn't do it against Hong Kong, it will be me and Iraq going through. and Australia going to the playoff. Alright then, so it's advanced to the draw. So we'll do the draw first and then do all the, reviewing the qualifiers afterwards. So let's just draw all the Pot A teams. Okay, Pot 2 then. So it's Poland going into Group A with South Africa. In Group B, it's Ireland. In Group C, it's Russia alongside Spain. In Group D, it's Switzerland. In Group E, it will be England alongside Argentina. Serbia in with Brazil. We have Bosnia in Group G with Cameroon. And Sweden in with Portugal. Alright, so moving on to Pot 3. Or Pot X, sorry. France will go into Cameroon's group with Bosnia. So great. Here we go then. Benin have qualified for the World Cup in Group A. We have some interesting teams there because we got Canada there going into Group B. I can see Sierra Leone as well in the draw. How did Sierra Leone qualify? That is crazy. They're like a 2.5-star team. Sierra Leone go into Germany and Switzerland's group there. Alright, okay, so USA go into Group E alongside Argentina and England. In Group F, it was Ivory Coast. In Group G, it will be either Egypt or El Salvador. It's El Salvador, and Egypt will go into Group H. Alright, so coming up, it will be Pot 4, and it will be North Korea in Group A. Group A looks so good. I wish I was in that group. In Group B, it's China alongside Holland, Canada and Ireland. Alright, okay, fair enough. Colombia go into Group C. In Group D, it's South Korea going into that one. In Group E, it will be Iraq. In Group F, Ecuador. And finishing it off, Australia made it and they will go into Group H. Alright then, so reviewing the qualifiers, we have got our group. That's how it finished. So it was China, Iraq, going through automatically, of course. Australia, we already know, made it, and Thailand bottled it on the final day. In Group B, it was both the North and South Korea going through automatically. Uzbekistan going to the playoff on goal difference. Qatar with 10 points, losing out on goal difference, and Japan did try to bring their campaign back, but it was too little, too late. In Oceania, it was New Zealand that finished top of that one. In South America, it looked like this. So Brazil and Argentina go through, Colombia and Ecuador automatically, and Uruguay go to the playoffs. In CONCACAF, it looked like this. So we have Mexico, Canada and United States going through. You know, Mexico were 9 points clear of like Canada and United States. El Salvador got into that playoff spot, and Costa Rica and Guatemala failed to qualify. In Europe, we have this. So Portugal went through automatically with Sweden going to the playoff. In Group B, it was Switzerland qualifying automatically on goal difference, and Greece going to the playoff. Same points, but obviously missed out on goal difference. In Group C, it was Poland winning that group, and Northern Ireland going to the playoff over Slovakia on goal difference. It looks like only maybe the 1 goal or 2 goals. Like, my math isn't very good. Even Czech Republic and Slovenia only missed out by 1 point. Very, very close in the end. In Group D, it was Germany and Russia going to the playoffs. In Group E, it was Spain automatically going through with a perfect campaign. What a campaign that was. And Bosnia going to the playoff. In Group F, it was England automatically going through with Croatia going to the playoff. In Group G, it was Serbia automatically going through with France going to the playoff, Romania missing out by 1 point. In Group H, it was Ireland automatically qualifying with Italy going to the playoff. I noticed Italy didn't get drawn in any of the World Cup groups, so they missed out. We'll find out who they missed out to in a minute. And in Group I, it was Holland that qualified automatically, and Norway going to the playoff over Macedonia on goal difference. Even Scotland missed out by 1 point. And in Africa, your final tables look like this. Cameroon went through in Group A. In Group B, it was South Africa that topped that group. But obviously, because South Africa are the host, it meant that Sierra Leone actually qualified. Sudan were only 2 points off as well. That group, like, I mean, for South Africa, that's super easy, but the fact that Sierra Leone qualified is pretty cool. Very, very cool. In Group C, it was Egypt qualifying 2 points over Algeria. In Group D, it was Benin qualifying over Mali and Guinea. And we have in Group E, Ivory Coast qualifying over Gambia by 3 points. So in your playoffs, we have Russia versus Greece, which ended up being Russia winning that one because Russia got 2 away goals and Greece only got the 1 away goal. So yeah, I think that's how it works. In this one, it was 3-3 between Italy and Sweden in the first game, and then Sweden beat Italy 2-1 to beat them 5-4 on aggregate. Great playoff game between those two. In Group C, it was a little bit more cut and dry, with France winning 4-1 over Croatia over the 2 legs. And in the next one, we have Bosnia winning 3-2 over Northern Ireland. In that one, again, another great playoff game. So in this one, Australia did qualify. On this one, it doesn't tell you how, but yeah, it was 2-2, but Australia qualified because obviously we know that Australia are in the World Cup right now. So unlucky to Uzbekistan. In the Asia-Oceania playoff, Australia beat New Zealand by 3-2 over the 2 legs. That is a great playoff game between 2 neighbours and rivals as well. Great game. And in the final playoff game, we have Uruguay and El Salvador playing out a classic game. What a performance by El Salvador against arguably stronger opponent. And that has been your whole qualifying run with China. We still got part 3 to do, which is obviously the World Cup part. So I really hope that you guys are going to be tuning in for that. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a like and subscribe. Keep it loco as always, and I'll see you again for the next video.